I'm really grateful that they came here and shared an intimate part of their lives and identity with us, and then we get to share it with all our visitors here.
We actually use 4 poles and we tie those. The Blackfeet do the same. Other tribes use 3. I've been taught on the Crow style, and I use 4 poles, and there's significance actually to that symbol. It's a beacon that and a symbol that really everyone recognizes as Plains Indians. And there's a lot more meaning to the lodge. When you put up the first 4 poles, it has significance in regards to the number 4. For instance, it represents a circle of life, which starts with childhood, adolescence, adults, and then elder. And that cycle of life is there. It also represents all people. And that's real significant because we as Indian people welcome all people. We want to call them our brothers and our sisters. And then also it represents a territory which we were loaned to us by the Creator. That's the meaning of 4. And then as you put up the lodge, you put up anywhere from 15, 17, 19 odd numbers for the teepee. And so this one I think has 19 poles. So when you put them up, you put up the 4 that I mentioned, and then the next one is your mother, then the children, clans, and so forth. And so each pole has some meaning to it, and also demonstrates virtues that we practice. And then once all the poles are up, the last pole that goes up, it's the pole that the hide or the canvas is attached to, and that's called the chief pole. It's the very last one, and so symbolically, that's the warrior. And when you put it up, it wraps around that entire community. It wraps around your mother and children and your clans, etc. So that symbolically, it's your job to protect that. So that's why we say a chief pole. And then when we put it together and bind it, the pins are eagle claws, which gives us strength and beauty and height. And then finally we put up the stakes, which usually is made out of chokecherry willows or chokecherry branches, and usually about 18 feet, and then we stripe them, take the bark off, and leave a couple of stripes on them because it represents the badger. So as turmoil and, in other words, the wind and in our communities, when we have difficulty and other things, those claws grab. And so the harder the wind blows, the tighter they grab. So those badger claws keep it grounded, and it doesn't go anywhere.
A major theme here at Pompeys Pillar is that this is a home for plants and animals and people. And we want to represent Crow culture. Actually, the first Crow reservation, this was the center of the first Crow reservation. The river is a major crossing traditionally that thousands of bison would travel through, so this is a perfect place to hunt and live. And so when you see these physical reminders in the landscape, it kind of helps bring you back to what once was and the cultural meaning of the place.
I think that's the unique things about us Indian people is that everything means something. And so it's always being instilled with us, whether it's stories or nature or hunting or furs or battle or whatever it might be. There's always some significance to that. It's a symbol, it's something we'd like people to see, and it's a demonstration of our hand held out to them in love and care and honor.